Breaking news. Putin loses entire brigade, as Moscow suffers devastating losses in the latest battle. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky claimed painful losses for the Russian military during their latest offensive in the destroyed city of Avdiivka. The White House has claimed that Putin's troops were executed after they retreated from an offensive in the eastern city of Donetsk. We have information that the Russian military has been actually executing soldiers who refuse to follow orders, White House spokesman John Kirby said at a media briefing on Thursday. Since mid-October, Ukrainian forces on the front line in Donetsk have been successfully fending off the Russian assault. Zelensky told Rishi Sunak, "The invaders made several attempts to surround Avdiivka, but each time our soldiers stopped them and threw them back, causing painful losses. When this happened, the enemy usually lost an entire brigade." Meanwhile, Alexander Stupin, a spokesman for Ukrainian forces in the south, claimed last week that the Russian military, which has relied on assault groups of 30 to 40 men, has been suffering over 400 casualties per day. On Thursday, the White House claimed that Russian troops are being threatened with execution if they retreat from Ukrainian artillery fire. White House National Security Council spokesman John Kirby said this development reflects Russia's morale problems 20 months into its grinding invasion of Ukraine. "It's reprehensible to think that you would execute your own soldiers because they didn't want to follow orders," Kirby said to reporters. "But I think it's a sign of how poorly Russia's military leaders understand what they're doing and how badly they've handled this from a military standpoint." Intelligence reports on Russian involvement in the war have been downgraded and made public by the White House. The administration has previously claimed that it has taken action to disclose the intelligence in order to highlight plans for Russian misinformation and other activity, with the goal of keeping allies aware of Moscow's true intentions and making Russia more hesitant to carry out an operation. President Joe Biden is currently trying to get the Republican-controlled House to agree to more funding for Ukraine as Kyiv tries to repel Russia in a war with no end in sight. This latest release of intelligence about Russia's struggles comes at a crucial time. According to Ukrainian analyst Askold Krashelnitsky, soldiers who disobey the Kremlin's suicidal orders are being shot at by both sides. Western intelligence suggests that some Russian commanders are executing soldiers who refuse to advance into the tempest of rocket and gunfire on the heavily fortified battlefields around the city of Avdiivka in eastern Ukraine. After a Ukrainian drone damaged the walls of a nuclear waste storage facility at the Kursk power plant in western Russia on Thursday, Russia's foreign ministry called on other governments to condemn Kyiv. According to the ministry's statement, Ukraine had to have known that its actions could have resulted in a global nuclear catastrophe. Spokesman for the Russian Foreign Ministry Maria Zakharova said, "We call on all governments to issue a strong condemnation of Kyiv's barbaric actions, which are extremely dangerous and could lead to irreparable consequences." According to preliminary data, the drones used in the attack on the nuclear power plant used components supplied by Western countries, she said, adding that such an attack would have required the permission or possibly the ordering of Ukraine's allies.